In computer networks, we are looking at chapter number 1, Introduction. Connections and reliability. So whenever we talk about any network, there are two things we need to discuss. First, services. The network provided services which may be connection oriented, which can be connection less. In connection oriented, there will be a proper connection established. Then only communication will take place. In connection less, there is no need to establish a path. So different layers of a reference model or different layers of a network configuration, they offer two types of service. That is, the lower layer will offer certain type of services to the upper layer just above it. So there can be two type of service. One can be connection oriented, the other one can be connectionless. What is connection oriented? See, if you have happened to know about the telephone system, one person has to call, the other person also have to put that cradle up so that he can start the communication. That is, a connection has to get established. Then this circuit, that is one person saying, other person listening, and in the full duplex mode, this is a telephone system. So here user first has to establish a connection, then he uses the connection, both the parties, and they release the connection. You can understand this connection oriented like a tube, for example. So here one party or one computing device, it sends it pushes the bits. Bits, combination of bits or packet. So this is going through one end, and then the other end, what is happening? Because one is 1011 is you are sending, so 1011 will be pushed, and this will be received by a receiver. So receiver takes them out at the other end. So when this pipe or connection is established, here the sender and the receiver and the communication network, which is called the subnet also, they will have a negotiation. That is, this communication network, what will be the parameter? That is, we are sending the bit or bits or packets or messages. What will be the maximum message size? What is the quality of service required? That is the throughput, and you can say the bandwidth. So, you might have experience once you're calling on a telephone system, sometimes you don't hear, so the person repeats it. Okay. So that kind of thing are established first. So a circuit is a kind of another name for a connection. So it's a connection, proper connection between two parties. So there is a circuit involved. For example, a copper wire, etc. In the connectionless service, connection-oriented service is modeled after telephone system, the PSTN system. The connectionless service is modeled after the postal system. That is, connectionless service, just take an analogy of a postal system. You just write a letter, put it inside an envelope. On the envelope, you write the full destination address. To, from, this is your address, from is your address, to whom you are sending is your destination address. You even write the PIN code. And each of this letter is routed independently through intermediate nodes. That is, this letter, if you are writing from here to United States, it may take different countries, it may go through different postal offices. These are nodes. So you have to think this in the scenario of whole world. So packet is a message at the network layer. So there are different routes it can take, and when we talk about network layer, we'll talk about these reference models. So we have a network model there. At this point, the message is called as a packet. Okay, packet is nothing but bits. You can just understand agreed upon combination of bits. See, once you send the bit, or you can say bit stream, it will go to one node. Now assume that this is connected like this also. So some of the bits may take this route, some of the bit may take another route. So basically, depending upon the link health, the network configuration, network health, whether the link is corrected or not, what is the quality of service, then the bits will be forward. This is called store and forward switching. That is the store and forward, the message will be received and then only it will be sent. In cut-throat switching, what will happen? When 1011 will come, when 1 will come, the 0 will come, 1 will be sent, then 0 will be sent. That is, whole 1011 is not received at the node, but while this message or bit stream is coming, it can be sent, it can be onward transmitted. This is cut-through switching. So it is possible that the messages can be jumbled up when they receive. That is, the first message may be delayed, or it may be sent or received rather before first can come. So the sequence can change in the connectionless services. So let me again tell you, it is based on postal system, packet, it can take any route, any path. So this unreliable, which is not acknowledged, you will not get any acknowledgement. And that is why the unreliable services are faster as compared to connection oriented. So this unreliable connectionless service is called the datagram service. Datagram service. So this datagram service, this datagram word has come from telegram. Because earlier times telegram was sent without acknowledgement. So this is the analogy with the telegram. We will talk about the user datagram protocol, which is actually a connectionless protocol. And we have transmission control protocol, which is the connection oriented protocol. So unreliable means you don't just get the acknowledgement, and packet may be used, you don't recover it. How to recover them? But the datagram has come from telegram. Continuing with the reliability, the connection oriented and connectionless service, these are the basis of the reliability. Reliability means what? That you can rely. That is, you can have trust on that actual transmission is taking place and the transmission gets through properly. The sender will receive all the content. The reliable services, the main thing is the acknowledgement is received every time. Okay. Basically, the audio video you are using, they are not reliable service today. They are unreliable service. Why? Because in reliable services, the acknowledgement service will be there. Whatever you send, you will get an acknowledgement. For example, you are going from one place to another, you are calling your mom. So you are giving her acknowledgement. I have reached here, I have reached here. So every time in reliable service, there will be some acknowledgement always sent to the receiver. And that will be creating lot of overhead delays, because this is a proper communication from sender to receiver. Every time the acknowledgement has to come, that will add up to the overhead, the delays, the time, the effort. But the only extra effort is for the reliability. Let me give an example. File transfer, where you would like to have the reliability. If you are sending certain pages, say to print, now one page is you have sent is reached, second is not reaching. Would you be happy? No. You will need a reliable connection oriented service like for file transfer. Okay. This is very important. So this reliable connection oriented service, they have certain variation. What kind of variation they have? The reliable connection service is all about sending the acknowledgement. Every time acknowledgement will come back. But there are certain, say, flavors. One is called as message sequences. I am talking about connection oriented. You see, it is unreliable connection, reliable byte stream, and reliable message stream. So one is message sequence. Now the message sequences are nothing but the message boundaries or the packet boundaries, they are preserved. What does it mean? If you are sending say 1024 message, that is, if you are sending these two pages, this is first page, this is second page. Say first page is 1025 byte. And when you are sending the second page, it is 1024 byte. There are two different messages. They will be sent and received as it is, because 1024 is the message boundary and it will be preserved. You will not get in message sequence this 2048 byte message. That is, this 1024 will be combined and you will get 2048. This will never happen. These two pages will never be combined and you will get one. In message sequence, there will be proper message boundaries. As I just suggested, the pages of the book, if you are sending it to someone, say for printing or for some purpose, you would never want that the boundary should not be maintained. The second flavor of reliable connection oriented services is the byte stream. The boundaries are not defined. Connection is just stream of bytes. That is, bytes are bits only. So it is basically the digital data. If you are sending 2048 bytes, then it can be received as 2048 bytes. It can be received as two 10248 byte messages. That is, you can get as it is, or even it can be divided by the network in 1024, because it is a byte stream. It is not a message sequence. In message sequence, the message boundaries has to be preserved. In byte stream, it is not there. For example, downloading a movie, it is just a bit stream. If you are live streaming, it is just a stream of bits, right? You don't need a proper boundary here. In the reliability, there is one more flavor. That is the acknowledged datagram. I told you about the datagram. Datagram means this is a connection less. But acknowledgement means the return receipt will be there. That means there is no connection established as in the connection oriented services, but still you will get the return, which is not there in the connectionless. Connection oriented, always you will get the receipt. That is, you will get an ACK here, but there will be no proper connection. For example, text messaging on your mobile phones. So sometimes you get double take, sometimes you get, okay, the message has been delivered. While you're talking about, say you're talking on phone, digitized phone, digitized service, digitized voice traffic, sometimes you hear tin like this noise, bit of noise. This is acceptable. Okay. But if every time the acknowledgement is going, what will you hear? You will say hello, and the hi will come after you have talked for say 1 minute or 2 minutes. And that is not acceptable. Okay. In video conference, for example, some pixels, if they are not seen, it is okay. But if the image is not there, or the image starts rebuilding, there is a jerk, there is a, it's quite irritating. Some of the pixels you can handle or you can manage. So these are examples of certain type, acknowledged datagram, etc. And in about the client server scenario, there is request reply service. So here the sender will transmit a single datagram, just single datagram containing a request. And there will be one answer. The reply will be the one answer. For example, I'll give you, you want to go to the Chinese restaurant. Then you will take a mobile phone client. It will send a query to a map server. Map server is a server. This mobile phone is a client. And it will ask for a list of some nearby restaurant. And you will get a list, proper list. So this is a request reply kind of service. Service primitives. Now the name is quite, you need to understand primitive is not here a tradition or something related to history. Service primitives. The primitives here means the function, the operation, the processes. So a service, when it is related to a network, it is a function. For example, if ever you have done programming, add function, factorial function, Fibonacci function, send function, receive function, these are the functions. So the service will have number of operation it is going to offer, number of function. For example, I'm just giving example as add and fact. We'll talk about these functions, and these are available to the user processes, and whoever user process is accessing this service, the primitives or operation will be available. So if you remember the protocol stack I talked about, protocol stack is whichever reference model you are adopting, all the layer will have defined protocol, one layer per protocol, that is the protocol stack. Normally when we are actually dealing it in the real scenario, this protocol stack will be in your operating system. Okay. So it will be in your laptop, it can be in your mobile, because they both have now operating systems. So the protocol stack, that is the layer of protocols, they are nothing but system calls. And these system calls are nothing but functions. So listen, connect, accept, receive, send, disconnect, these are functions. So every function is nothing but service. So primitives for the connection oriented services, they are quite different from those in the connectionless service. So you'll see there is quite a similarity but differences also. Now how do you use these primitives or these services are used in actual communication? We are taking the actual example how the communication is going to take place, how the service primitives are used, service operations are used. So there are two machines here, client machine and a server machine. These are nothing but two simple machines like your machine and my machine. So how this operating system will contain a protocol stack. That protocol stack is nothing but the service primitives. And how does it work? How does this service primitive service operation which you see here on the top, these function will be applied, this will be used. So there is a proper step followed, one by one. So we are talking about a simple protocol that implements the service using the acknowledged datagram, because every time you need to get an acknowledgement, right? So we will be talking about the actual TCP and UDP's connections. Here you will know how the connection works. So this is a connection oriented communication. So you are trying to understand a communication oriented communication flavor. What will happen first? First, the server. Now server is like a shop owner. Now it has to open the shop so that the buyers can come, the customers can come. So first thing the server will do, it will execute a function called listen, so that it can show, it can indicate that I am ready to accept the incoming connections. So server will do the first thing as listen, and this is a block waiting for an incoming connection. Now when this server cannot block other systems, so it has to be suspended. What I'm trying to suggest here is this listen is implemented whenever you write this code. It is implemented by making it as a blocking system call. But now the server process will be suspended, because if the shop is open and no customer is coming, it cannot block everything. So it is suspended now. But the client is now coming. So the first client comes and it will execute a connect. So it will execute, the function connect it will use to connect to the server. Now connects function will have all the information which servers it has to connect. So there can be multiple servers. So it has to give the say IP address or the port it want to talk. So the connection or connect is the proper function, service primitive. Now what operating system is doing? The connect call, when it is established, the operating system will send a packet to its same layer peer, because it is asking for the connection. That is, a customer is coming and customer wants to enter the shop. Okay, the client process is now suspended because if he has asked and the door is not open, it will wait. A client process will be suspended because there is no response coming from, because it is waiting for the response. Now, when the client packet is sent to the server, it is received by the server. The operating system at the other end will check, okay, whether the server is in the listen mode or not. Okay, so now it will unblock the listener. As I said, the listener will be at the block state. It will unblock the listener, and the server now establishes the connection with a proper call that, okay, now you can come inside my shop. So that is the accept call server will do. Server will say the accept call. Now this sends, because there will be a response every time in a connection oriented service, there will be an acknowledgement. So there will be an accept response to the client to accept connection. So connect request has gone from client to server. Server is saying, okay, ready, I will accept. So accept response will come. So once the arrival of this response will come, the client will activate. It will release the client. So now client and server, they are both running and a proper connection has been established. We are discussing a proper connection oriented communication. Now server will execute a receive, because now when you go inside the shop, you have to ask for something. So the server will say, okay, tell me what do you want. Okay, server will execute a receive because it is accepting the first request. Now receive call will again block the server. The server will say, okay, what do you want? Now it goes, okay, it is now duty of clients to say what. Now client will do what? Client will now execute a send. What is the request? For example, the buyer or the customer is asking for a potato chips. So this is the request. So client send to this, execute this send to transmit its request, followed by the execution of receive to get the reply. Because it has to get the reply from the server machine also. So the request packet here unblocks the server so it can handle the request. Okay, the request packet, because now this is the request that I want the potato chips, and once the potato chips is been delivered or given to the customer, when the work is done, the server use the send to return the client, the answer to the client. Okay, so this will be the send. The fourth point you are seeing, reply. So once request for potato chips is there, the potato chips will be given to the customer. Now this packet will unblock the client because it has to check whether this potato chip packet is okay or not. So it will wait for some time. It will, if it is okay, when client has taken the chips packet, it will execute the disconnect because it has to terminate the connection. Say the trade is over, and it will initiate the disconnect because this initial disconnect is blocking. It will suspend the client and it will send the packet to server saying the connection is no longer needed. Now the transaction is being done. The server has to also issue the disconnect because it has to acknowledge that, okay, you are saying me to disconnect. Okay, I am also disconnect. And then both the parties, when they are disconnecting, the connection will be released. So now client get the server packet of disconnection, the client process is released and the connection is broken. The user or the customer comes out of the shop. Now the communication is over. But there may be certain things in unreliable connection. That is, there can be big messages. If a big message are sent, there will be transmission errors in the unreliable kind of communication. What are the relationship of services to the protocols? First, you have to understand what is the service, and you have to understand what is the protocol, and what is the difference and what is the similarity between them. What is the relationship between them, to be very be very clear about them. So a service is nothing but functions primitives, operation that the lower layer provides to the upper layer. Okay, that is the layer k minus 1 will give some service to layer k will give some certain service to layer k plus 1. But it will never say how this operation or services is implemented. It will just say, I have this function, you can use it. How to use it, you decide. What about protocol? These are nothing but the rules, regulation, the convention governing the format and meaning of the packet. That is, when you send the package, what will be the size, what will be the header, what will be the trailer, because they have to be exchanged on a peer layer. So entities use this protocol in order to implement their service definition. So protocol is used. When you know the protocol, then you can implement the service definition, because service is all about the operation, what operation you have to use. Now I'll give you an example of programming language. Here we have the abstract data type. In abstract data type, for example, the class will have only a function. Function is nothing but services here. Okay. Now this service, how you have to implement, it is not saying the factorial you have to implement using the direct code, or you want to call it again and again, say iterative way. So the protocol is the implementation of the service which is not visible to the user. So it's like an abstract data type. It defines the operation but not specifying the implementation. Reference models. So the big reference model will be talking about OSI reference model, TCP/IP conceptual layers, or you can call it as a reference model also. But this we are going to take in the next discussion. Till then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.